Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. As the Pats sign Marcus Jones to a 3-year contract extension. This is Locked On Patriots.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's happening? I am your host, Nick Cattles, born and raised in New England, been covering the Pats for the past 16 years, also co-host of the Greg Bedard Patriots podcast with Nick Cattles, and a sports talk show host veteran. On this bonus breaking news episode, we'll discuss the Marcus Jones extension and why it happened now. Also, how will the extension impact the long term of this defensive backfield, and who else might be in line to get paid sooner rather than later? We appreciate you joining the show, making us your first listen, and for being an everydayer. The Locked On Patriots podcast is a proud partner, the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And don't forget to give us that thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube, to like this bonus episode for you. Like, comment, and subscribe. We have raced past 7,000 subs on to 8,000 subs. That's the next goal. This breaking news episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. This contract extension for Marcus Jones was an absolute no-brainer, and Marcus Jones gets the official Mike Vrabel stamp of approval by getting this 3-year extension. The news was broken by Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network. And let's look at why this is a no-brainer. Mike Vrabel, in his defensive system, and he talked about this as soon as he was hired by the Patriots, the slot cornerback position is critical to this defense. Now, of course, when we think about the nickel, we think about the slot, we think about Mike Vrabel's defense, we think about bigger framed cornerbacks. And we know Marcus Jones is not the biggest dude, but he fights. He's physical, plays tough, and he's been everywhere for this defense, including on Sunday against the Browns. I mean, he does everything, coming downhill, making tackles. A willing tackler, not afraid to throw his body around, even though he's not the biggest dude. His tackling has been very good, swarming to the football. He has also blitzed, had a sack a week or two ago. So the Patriots like to send Marcus Jones on some blitzing action from time to time. His coverage has been, for the most part, he hasn't been flawless. Miscommunication here, blown coverage there. But for the most part, the vast majority, his coverage has been sticky. He's been really good. I think of the Buffalo Bills play, Keon Coleman, boundary. Keon Coleman's tall dude, former college basketball player. Marcus Jones, sticky coverage, gets up at the highest point, the catch point, breaks up the pass. So a sure tackler, a blitzer, sticky in coverage, and again, for the most part, disciplined. Simply, Marcus Jones has been one of the best slot cornerbacks in football this year, and I'm not just saying that because I host a Locked On Patriots podcast. Taylor Kyles, my buddy from CLNS, posted Marcus Jones in coverage so far this season. Interceptions, 2, tied for the third most. Stops, 10, tied for the fourth most. Forced incompletions, 6, tied for the 8th most in football. His missed tackle percentage, again, I just called him a sure tackler. His missed tackle percentage, and he missed one on Sunday on the jet sweep to Malachi Corley, but the missed tackled percentage is 4%. That is tied for the 7th lowest. That's among qualified cornerbacks. Jones is also tied for the 4th most run stops among cornerbacks with 7. Mike Reese mentioned on Twitter, Marcus Jones has played 76% of the snaps for the Patriots this year. Oh, and if you want to look at passer rating allowed in the slot, again, thanks to Taylor Kyles, this is per Pro Football Focus, a minimum of 100 coverage snaps. Marcus Jones's passer rating allowed in the slot, 5th fewest yards coverage snap per allowed, 0.91. And that passer rating allowed is tops in all of football, 53.8%, Jordan Lewis from Jacksonville is number 2 at 62.3. And then the third best passer rating allowed in the slot is Jaquan McMillan of Denver, 84.6, more than, or just about 30 points. Yeah, more than 30 points lower than Marcus Jones at 84.6. He's been the best cornerback in the slot position. You could argue in football, he's been at least one of the best. He's also a culture fit. We're talking about somebody who 8 weeks into the season, 8 weeks into Mike Vrabel's first season as the head coach, already made the determination, this is the type of guy we want around. 8 weeks. Marcus Jones does his job. He says the right things. He, of course, is a first-time captain, so he is a leader of this football team. Oh, and by the way, in 2022, he was a first-team All-Pro punt returner, giving you extra points, giving you great field position, an elite special teams guy. And he's doing it again in 2025. One more note from Taylor Kyles, because he just pushed out a bunch of information quick right after this news. Marcus Jones, punt return yards, third most. Yards per return, the most. Return touchdowns, tied for the most. The longest return, tied for the third longest. And he has set or tied career highs so far through 8 weeks, yards per return, return touchdowns, and the longest return at 87 yards. He is one of the best, if not the best, slot corners in football this year. He is one of, if not the best, punt returner in football this year. No-brainer, great business done by the Patriots. All right, coming up, now that Marcus Jones's extension is done, we break down where that leaves the rest of this secondary contractually. This is Locked On Patriots, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go, while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
We're giving you a bonus episode of Locked On Patriots, a breaking news bonus episode. Marcus Jones, 3-year contract extension, reported by Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. And I think it's a no-brainer, as we addressed in the first segment. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So now that the Jones extension is done, which is a significant step for me in the right direction, there are some other questions for the defensive backs on this team and where they are contractually. Of course, you start with Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez is extension eligible. And when you look at what other young corners are getting, you can compare Christian Gonzalez directly to Sauce Gardner of the Jets. And Sauce Gardner, of course, this last offseason just signed a contract extension, 4 years, $120 million. Not a mathematician, not a math expert, but that's $30 million a year. Now, of course, with Christian Gonzalez, you question the durability. Missed most of his rookie season, missed a game last year, and of course, missed the first 3 weeks this season with the hamstring. So is he going to be able to get through the rest of this season without having to sit out? We'll have to wait and see, but that is the biggest question about Christian Gonzalez. Nobody questions his ability. It's more of the durability. He's a blue chip talent. I wonder, given the injury history, the soft tissue issue at the beginning of this year, I wonder if the Patriots are going to be willing to wait and see on Christian Gonzalez. He still has 2 years left on his rookie contract after this season. It's just when you're a first-round pick, you can negotiate an extension after your third year. So we'll see. Now, part of this math is that Carlton Davis, he has a contractual out after next season. So if you don't sign Christian Gonzalez this offseason, are you wanting to walk into the offseason of, 2027 after next year, having to deal with Christian Gonzalez's contract and maybe having to deal with Carlton Davis's contract, whether that is taking advantage of the out or renegotiating so you can redo the deal, maybe restructure the deal? I mean, Carlton Davis has been good. There's no doubt. Of course, you got to live with the penalties every once in a while. That happens. You've got to deal with him being dinged up every once in a while. But when he's been on the field, he's been good. But he also turns 29 years old in December. So if you get to 2026 and Carlton Davis is healthy, you get through that year. If you haven't signed Christian Gonzalez to that contract extension, now you're looking at both of your starting outside corners maybe having to do some work negotiating-wise. Safety feels a little bit more obvious. Craig Woodson likely set for the long term. You just drafted him back in April. He is starting and playing pretty much every single snap. So it feels like Craig Woodson is going to be a long-term answer for one of the safety spots. Jaylinn Hawkins, interestingly enough, who I thought was really good on Sunday, and I'm not just talking about the pick, and I think he's been good this year when he's been out there. Jaylinn Hawkins signed a 1-year deal back in March. So he will be looking at wanting to do a deal. If he wants to stay in New England or go somewhere else, he's going to be a free agent when this season is over. And the Patriots, I would think, they likely will invest a pick or two at safety or cornerback in this year's draft, in the 2026 draft, and they probably will spend multiple picks over the next couple of years in the defensive backfield because, the Christian Gonzalez insurance, if he's going to be around because of the durability questions. Carlton Davis's age. Alex Austin was not great when given the opportunity at the beginning of this year when Gonzalez was out. So I think it would make some sense. And we've heard that the Patriots, according to reports, are looking at cornerback help before the trading deadline. So it just makes sense that they probably will continue to try to look and get younger in the defensive backfield. And don't forget Kyle Duggar's contract situation and, what kind of role is he going to play? It feels like it's unlikely he's going to be here beyond this season if he's not traded at the trading deadline. He does, interestingly enough, have a potential contract out after this season. I would not be surprised whatsoever if he's released or if they restructure his contract and pay him much less. All right, you might be wondering, now that Marcus Jones's situation is done, who's next to get a deal sooner rather than later? We've got some names for you next as we continue with today's bonus episode of Locked On Patriots, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Let's be real. Making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've all heard them before. It's just stress, I'm tired, or it happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support. And that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet makes it easy to get started. You just connect with a board-certified doctor 100% online. No awkward waiting rooms, no in-person appointments. Process is fast, it's simple, it's private. It's all handled by real bona fide doctors. Visit rugiet.com/LockedOnNFL to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/LockedOnNFL. And don't forget to use our code LockedOnNFL so they know we sent you. Rugiet, stop making excuses and start making moves. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. You always have a shot to enjoy the game and the action. It is simply awesome. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. I love same game parlays and have had my share of wins using that SGP icon on game days. Those who have FanDuel, you know what I'm talking about. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. I'll say it again. FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game. The official sports betting partner of the NBA is FanDuel. Keep in mind, as you like, comment, and subscribe to this podcast, keep in mind that any player who signed this past offseason in March, they can't sign now. You can't just redo the deal if you signed a one-year deal. You got to wait. So Jaylinn Hawkins, one-year deal, just signed it in March. He can't re-sign during the season. You can't extend him during the season. You can't work on the contract. Kyrie's Tonga, you can't just hand him an extension, again, because he just signed in March. Christian Gonzalez can't get done until after the season. So a lot of the names that we're going to talk about for the next couple of minutes are to keep an eye on for the long term. Once this season is over, I don't think there's going to be a lot of business done in season given the other contract situations on this roster. But when you look at maybe some long-term deals getting done when the season is over, you have to start with K'Lavon Chaisson. What is K'Lavon Chaisson's price tag going to be? He's been absolutely unbelievable the last few weeks. Former first-round pick, certainly looking like that guy that Jacksonville drafted years ago. So K'Lavon Chaisson is somebody to keep in mind. I would have to imagine the Patriots would love to extend him, but how much is he asking for? How long-term of a deal is he looking for? What do you want to do in the draft? Do you trade for some pass rush help before the trade deadline? So K'Lavon Chaisson, a name to remember. Another name is Kyrie's Tonga. I've talked about him a ton. He's been tremendous this year. A surprise. Came to New England on a one-year deal, short money, relatively speaking. He's been tremendous. So I think the Patriots would love to extend Kyrie's Tonga. And, interior defensive lineman, maybe you can get him at a decent number. Jaylinn Hawkins, mentioned him earlier. I would not be shocked if the Patriots want to re-sign Jaylinn Hawkins when this year is done. Again, we have a lot of football left. We're halfway through, but given how these guys have played so far, if they continue to play at that level, I would think that the Chaissons, the Tongas, the Hawkins, the Patriots, Mike Vrabel will be interested in bringing them back. It's all about price. Austin Hooper's an interesting one. He's in his 30s, a little long in the tooth. He's played pretty well this year. Some sketchy blocking from time to time. Other times he's looked good there. But, of course, you look at tight end, and you've got Hunter Henry, you've got Hooper, and that's pretty much it. I don't think Jack Westover is a long-term solution. So what can you do in the draft? Do you bring back Hooper as that third tight end? I wouldn't hate it. And finally, quarterback, Tommy DeVito. Could he be your long-term number 2 guy? Now, Joshua Dobbs, you look at his contract. Want to make sure I got this right. Believe he signed a 2-year deal. I'm like 99% confident. Yes, he signed a 2-year deal for $8 million. But, you look at the specifics, the Patriots can get out of that contract after this season. So do they exercise that contractual out with Joshua Dobbs and say Tommy DeVito is more the long-term answer behind Drake May? So those are just a few moves to keep an eye on, guys to keep in mind when we get past this season, which has so far been awesome at 6-2. Once you get past 2025 and we start looking forward, the Chaissons, the Tongas, the Hawkinses, the Hoopers, the DeVitos, those are names as far as guys on this roster right now. And, of course, Christian Gonzalez, as we mentioned earlier, that you're looking at long-term and possibly getting a deal done this offseason. But a no-brainer. Marcus Jones staying in New England for at least 3 more years. I think it's a great deal. We'll see what the numbers are. but he has been arguably the best slot corner in the league this year, and he has arguably been the best punt returner this year in the NFL. All right, that wraps up this bonus edition of Locked On Patriots. Of course, thank you for making us your first listen, for being an everydayer. Reach out to me on Twitter at NickCRadio. Don't forget to throw a comment in on the YouTube channel. Hit the like button and subscribe. Help a brother out. For your second listen, get a double dose of Locked On NFL podcast with Tyler the Madman Rowland and Tony Wiggins. Find Locked On NFL on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.